Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Sin, and today we are looking at, are the Powerbeats Pro worth the $250, or is it possible to get by on the $40 alternative? Well, let's take a look. First, we'll go ahead and give some context, and we're going to initially at least take a look on the outers of both of these, all right? So here again, we have the $40 version. As you can see, we don't have any branding or anything like that around it at all. You have the Power HBQ Pro, which is what these are. And here, as you can see, you have that famous Beats logo there, and then you have the charge port, which is on the back there, of course, versus here. Now, one of the things right off the bat that I found to be very, very interesting is that the Powerbeats Pro actually used Apple's Lightning charger. So, obviously, yes, since Beats were bought out by Apple, if you're an Apple user, then that's a plus. But at the same time, if you're not, then fortunately it does come with the cable that you need. But at the same time, if you're just kind of going off of just maybe a micro USB or a C-type charger, then now you will have to have an additional cord, that you're at least toting around if you want to keep these, powered up. So moving quickly past that, let's take a look at the actual insides. Okay, so one cool thing that I like about this one here is that it actually tells you the charge level. So, right now, obviously, we're at 75% of power, and that's between the case after these are fully charged, because these have been sitting on the inside. And so if we look at the design, overall, we have this little red power logo there on the side. It's got a nice little silicone band that goes around. And overall, honestly, these have been very, very comfortable. So, that to me already is pretty great. Now, taking a quick look at our competitor here at $250, we have again the Powerbeats Pro. So these are pretty cool, okay? But what are you really getting with these, okay? So these, as opposed to the silicone band that we have on the others, actually have a plastic band that goes around the ear instead. So that alone, to me, has already shown that it's not quite as comfortable of, a material choice. It is a bit pliable, which is good, of course, for as far as bending and everything else, fit-wise goes. But overall, it does kind of fit a lot more snug within the ear, which, overall wouldn't be bad if it was a softer, more comfortable material. So then, of course, we have our fun Beats logo on the side as opposed to that red power symbol that we had. So now let's talk about some of the actual technical differences. Firstly and foremost, one thing that I actually don't like about these is that the touch functionality that they have. Because yes, you can actually press the button on the side, but I love that part. But the problem is it also actually has the touch sense feature. So if I was just to generally, double tap like so, then that would still trigger some of those sensory things. So if you're familiar with many of the wireless headphones, particularly the ones by Apple, the Apple AirPods, those I believe have the touch gestures on the side, and I actually have another pair of headphones that has that similar feature. Personally, for me, I prefer to have a physical button that will kind of control that, but anyways, it's there. So sometimes if I'm readjusting or adjusting the volume using these fun little buttons up top, then it from time to time I'll end up making misclicks, and that's no fun. So that is, in my opinion, at least a drawback. Some people might like that, but I figured it's worth highlighting nonetheless. Another thing is sound quality wise, okay? So they do sound good, all right? But in truth, I'm gonna have to actually give it to these ones on sound quality. Believe it or not, yeah, I know. So one of the curious things actually as well is that the volume goes higher on these ones here. So the Power HBQ Pros at $40 than the possibilities for the $250, Powerbeats Pro, which overall is very, very interesting for so many reasons. But, I just can't really fathom why that really is. So because of that, again, I give another point to our Power HBQ Pro. Now, one of the shortcomings here versus on our Powerbeats is that these actually, The button on the side, so again, our front power button here that you actually can press as well. Unfortunately, all it does is pause or play. So that's great, but you know, not being able to do a double click for a skip track, for instance, just that one extra little feature that you can do on here is pretty nice. And I personally do like that about these. But, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, if I'm paying $210 more for that one feature, then you better believe I'm out, okay? So, you know, that's really kind of going to cover it. So if you're wondering, well, do I go with the Powerbeats Pro or do I go with the Power HBQ Pro? You know, 250 versus versus 40. Okay, it's up to you. I mean, if you're someone who's buying the item to try to impress or show off to others, or you know, is unable to adapt or accept, you know, a not like mega mass branded product, then these are for you. But if you're a person who has at least a remote level of financial sanity, then these are 100% all around the better buy. And again, sound quality wise, I think that these actually sound a little bit better. And oddly enough, even though these are known for their bass, the bass is quite punchy, but at the same time, I love the balance that these have, again, over these. So to me, overall, seems like a no-brainer for the winner here. So yeah, guys, that's going to conclude today's review on the Powerbeats Pro, again, versus the Power HBQ Pro. Let me know what you guys think, or if you guys happen to have one or the other. And thank you so much for stopping by. We'll see you all again for the next video.